Hi everybody, it's Gemma, welcome back to Pampered Wolf. Today I'm going to be doing a full face of all my favourite cruelty-free products, and this has been very difficult to decide because I have so many absolutely unbelievable cruelty-free products. I have been arguing with myself all morning. There is only me in the room. There has been a ruckus, I'll tell you. A humongous ruckus. Anyway, let's get on with this video. If you are new here, hi, my name's Gemma. I am a fully qualified esthetician and lover of anything beauty, skincare and makeup. I upload on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays at 8 PM London time, and I'm also on Instagram if you want to check me out over there. It's at Pampered Wolf, all lowercase and no spaces. I would really appreciate it if you would consider hitting that subscribe button, the like button, and also the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Come and join the Pampered Wolf pack. We are a really friendly bunch. The world of cruelty-free is an absolute minefield, and brands that are no longer cruelty-free, they're not going to tell you that. They're going to try and ride their previous cruelty-free status for as long as physically possible before you find out. So you do have to keep on checking the cruelty-free websites to check if the brands are still cruelty-free, because as soon as they start selling in China, their products will have post-market testing, so they cannot be classed as cruelty-free anymore. So I always check Cruelty-Free Kitty and Ethical Elephant. I think they're great websites to check, and they always tend to have quite a lot of information on their website. So I have been on this morning and checked out all of the brands that I'm about to apply to my face. Let's go straight into eyeshadow primer. The eyeshadow primer that I always like to use is the P. Louise base, because this one is so full coverage and it's really good at sticking the eyeshadow to your lids. The shade that I've gone for is Rumour in 01, which is really quite pale and nice. Covers up absolutely everything. If you've got any discoloration in your eyelids that you want to cover, any veins that are quite prominent, this will cover it up. It's a great base for your eyeshadow. It's also going to block any of those eyelid oils out. So your eyelids, if you do have quite oily eyelids, this is going to help prevent your eyeshadow from slipping throughout the day. Also helps prevent your mascara from transferring onto the upper lids. Okay, so as for eyeshadow, you all know that my favourite palette is the Natasha Denona Mini Gold palette. I absolutely love this. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a little palette of Gemma. I love every single shade. It makes me really happy, and Natasha Denona is cruelty-free, but because I've already used this in my full face of favourites video, I'm not going to use it again. We're going to go for something slightly different, and my second favourite is a palette from Charlotte Tilbury, and it's her Pillow Talk palette. Little mini Pillow Talk palette. Now, there is slight controversy surrounding Charlotte Tilbury and whether she is cruelty-free. She is cruelty-free, however, her products are available to purchase for people who live in China. She actually doesn't sell within stores in China. Let me read what it actually says on the website. So it says, Charlotte Tilbury does not sell in stores in mainland China. Doing so would subject them to required by law animal testing. Their products are available to customers in that region via e-commerce. This is when people can place an order online and have it shipped to them. So because of this, their products aren't subjected to pre-animal testing, and they're also not pulled off the shelves because there's none of them on the shelves in China for post-market testing. So these still do remain cruelty-free. Very sneaky. It's a real bit of a workaround of being able to sell your products in China and still keep your cruelty-free status. So just wanted to let you know about that, because I think there was a little bit on the internet not so long ago and everybody was sort of like, well, is she, isn't she, is she, isn't she? Apparently she still is. So I'm going to take this palette here, which is the beautiful Pillow Talk Luxury palette. Absolutely glorious palette. I'm going to take a fluffy brush and go into this pinky shade here, knock off the excess, and go straight into the socket. But because it's a fluffy brush, it will automatically transfer a little bit higher than the socket anyway. Such a beautiful neutral palette, this. Really is pretty. So once I've done that, I'm going to take the browner shade, dip exactly the same brush in that, and just go in a little bit and just deepen up that outer edge, just with patting motions. I absolutely love the Charlotte Tilbury shadows. I find them really buttery. They're lovely, lovely pigmentation, and they blend out superbly. Really, really beautiful. So then I'm just going to wipe off that brush using a tissue and then just blend that out a little bit. So I'm going to take my finger in this beautiful glittery shade. I love this. I really love this. Look at that. It's just, oh, just stunning. Absolutely stunning. And then pat that on the lid. Oh, just so, so pretty. Really, really pretty. It's like a gold, but it's got some peachy tones in there, some pinky tones in there. It's just a gorgeous shimmer. Really, really beautiful. Beautiful. I'm gonna go off camera and do the other eye and I'll be right back. So after both eyes are done, I'm gonna take some KVD Vegan Beauty Tattoo liner and just line that top lash. I love this because the tip is so fine, so fine, really brilliant. And it doesn't get on all your top lashes. It's just so accurate. You can do a really, really thin line with this. I absolutely love this. It's so easy to apply. Even on a textured or a crepey lid, you can get a really beautiful line with this. Super easy, and it's also waterproof. So if you do have watery eyes, this is definitely the one that I would recommend for you. Okay, so moving on to foundation. Now I have so many absolutely amazing cruelty-free foundations, but this one just makes me feel really happy, really well cared for, and it's just a little pot of luxury. I am going to be using the CHANTECAILLE Future Skin Oil-Free Foundation today, and I really shouldn't be because this is completely the wrong shade for me now. I don't have any fake tan on my body or my face, but we're going to have to bronze things up a little bit. It does make me seriously happy. This is just such a beautiful foundation. So I'm going to take the little scoop that comes with the product, take a little bit out because you need hardly any, pop it on the back of my hand. Then I'm going to take my foundation brush and just start applying this where I need it. So that is my foundation done. I just think it's absolutely glorious, this foundation. I wish it wasn't as expensive. Maybe I would go and buy my correct shade in it because, I mean, let's not even talk about it. Let's go straight into colour correction. So I'm going to use the Naked Skin from Urban Decay, and this is their peach colour corrector. I'm just going to pop a tiny bit of that on the back of my hand. And then I'm going to take a brush and just apply that to the areas of discoloration that I have. Any of the dark circle that is poking through. This is such a great product. It dries down quite quickly, but I am going to give that a couple of minutes now to dry down because obviously this does look unnatural. I can't go out like this. I've got to cover this over with a concealer. So I'm going to give this 2 minutes and then we're going to go in with a concealer. While we're waiting for the under eye corrector to dry down, I'm going to go and do brows. So you all know which brow products I'm going to choose. This is the NYX Microbrow pencil. No matter how many high-end brow pencils or brow products that I try, I always go back to this one, and this one's only £9 in the UK, so seriously affordable, and it lasts a really long time. So I'm just going to go in with my favourite shade, Ash Brown, and just fill in the brows. Once I've done my brows, I'm just going to take some NYX Brow Setter, rub those through the brows to make sure they stay in place all day. Another great product. And then we're going to move on to the concealer. Now the concealer that I've chosen today is absolutely amazing. It's one that I've used several times on my channel and over on Instagram as well, and it's by JOUER, and it's the Essential High Coverage Concealer Pen. I'm often asked why I don't like the Essential Liquid Concealer from JOUER. I've never actually tried it. I have loads of liquid concealers, and when I feel like going for a liquid, I can opt for one of those, but this is amazing because it's such a beautiful texture. It stays put and it doesn't crease if you apply the right amount. So I really, really enjoy the consistency of this. So I'm just going to take a bit of that product on the end of my finger, and I'm just going to pop that underneath my eye first off, and build that up as is necessary, and just blend it down with my finger. So first of all, just applying it in that inner corner and then just blending it down. And then I'm going to start blending that out as well. It's just so easy to apply this, and it just feels really nourishing and hydrating underneath the eye. So once I've got enough product on that inner corner, I want to start padding that across to join this outer corner. And then I'm going to take a tiny bit more on my finger and just apply it on this outer corner, because that's where I do have a bit of discoloration, and pad that up there just to clean up the eyeshadow a little bit, and then start blending that in with the rest of the skin. It's just such a great concealer. So once that's done, I'm going to go straight back into the under eye, go back into the Luxury Palette Pillow Talk from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm going to take this deeper shade of brown with a small brush and just dust that on the outer edge on both sides, just to connect the outer edge and add a bit of definition. Then I'm going to take my fingers again and just pad that, just to blend that a little bit so it's not too harsh. I don't want a line of eyeshadow today. So I'm just going to pad that in just to soften it. Beautiful. So let's add a lick of mascara, and this is where I was in a slight quandary. I was being pulled in all sorts of different directions because I have so many absolutely amazing mascaras that are all cruelty free. There's the Too Faced Better Than Sex, there's the Too Faced Damn Girl, there's the Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Lashes, Charlotte Tilbury Full Fat Lashes, there's the Fenty Full Frontal, the Legit Lashes from Huda Beauty. Which one is my favourite? I just don't know. They're just amazing. They're absolutely amazing. I've been changing my mind all the way through this video of which one I'm actually going to use. So I think I'm going to settle on the Huda Beauty Legit Lashes, just because I've been using this a lot recently and I really like the double-ended wand, but I really like the full frontal. And no, we're going to go for Huda Beauty. We're going to go for Huda Beauty. You do have to be very careful with this one that you do put an eyeshadow primer on your eyelids if you do have really long lashes like me, otherwise it will transfer throughout the day. I have had no flaking whatsoever with this, but I have had transfer on my upper lids. So I should be absolutely fine today because I've got an eyeshadow primer on, but I just thought I'd let you know that because I have had some issues, but this is absolutely amazing and I'm in love with the applicators. So I'm going to go straight into the volume and do what I normally do, which is go right down at the base, and then I'm just going to apply the length and curl to the tips of my lashes. My lashes are definitely in need of a lash lift at the moment because they're all growing in all different directions, as new lashes have come through. Some of them are further forward than the others that have already been curled. Anyway, it's a little bit messy at the moment. So I'm gonna let that dry down a little bit before I put some of the length and curl on the tips and do the volume on the other side. And I really like to get right down in the root and just really stretch that root up and make sure it's packed with the voluminous formula. Just makes your lashes look even fuller. So then I'm going to put some curl and length on the tips. I'm going to go in from the front and also from the back because my lashes are growing in all different directions and it's really, really annoying at the moment. So brush from the back and from the front just to make sure that I've got everything. So once that's done, and I actually only have one coat of mascara on here. I know I've used both sides of the Legit Lashes wand. I've used the volume and also the curl and length, but I've only used the volume at the base and I've used the curl and length on the top. So as you can see, considering I've only got one coat of this on, it looks really good. And I've got the curl and length on the lower lashes as well, but again, only one coat of that. Let's move on to bronzer. The bronzer that I've chosen, and again, I have loads of bronzers that are cruelty free. They're absolutely excellent. I still haven't bought the Hourglass bronzer, and I was so shocked at myself. I really need to get around to that. Anyway, the one that I'm going to use today is the Fenty Stalk'r bronzer. I have the cream bronzers as well, but for this look today, I'm going to use powder bronzer. I just think it would be a lot nicer with this look, but I also love the cream bronzers from Fenty as well. This one is in the palest shade Inda Sun, which is absolutely perfect for me. Possibly not with this shade of foundation. This today has sealed it for me that I really do need to buy the shade that is correct for me in this foundation. I wasn't gonna do it because it is so super expensive, but seeing how it looks on my skin now, I really need to buy it. I have to buy it. There must be a justification somewhere of spending that amount of money on a foundation. I'm not sure how I'm gonna find it. I will try very, very hard. That can be my afternoon project. So I just think this is so lovely. It's really easy to blend. You don't see the powder on your skin. It's not a creamy texture, but it feels creamy on the skin. And you don't see that powder. It's not like the powder's sitting on the surface of the skin, which I just think is absolutely lovely. I'm just doing my up and down shaky shaky. Oh dear. I just can't help myself. Just get some down my neck as well, just to blend everything in. And I'm also going to put some right on the tops of my cheekbones and also blend that line in because it is really quite harsh. The P. Louise shadow base is a little bit pale for this foundation, so I'm just going to blend that in using a little bit of bronzer. So let's go for blush, and there is only one blush that I gravitate to time and time and time again. I have to use it. It's just really important because I'd be a complete hypocrite if I wasn't. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush in the shade Luminous Flush. I just feel like this is just so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. This is, I can't remember how long I've actually had this for now. I've used it time and time again. There is not a dint in it. Honestly, it may be expensive to buy. It's a real investment, but it lasts a long time. So I'm just gonna pop that on the high points of my cheeks first, taking that around the temples, and then I'm going to just dust that on the tops of the apple of my cheek, just to add that little bit of a girly flush. I just love these. They are so refined. They are luxurious. They just make me feel super posh, and I'm really not. But this is just a little bit of luxury, and It's so, so pretty on the skin. I don't have a bad word to say about this blush, to be quite honest. I think I might go and get a slightly more peachier toned one. This is more pinky, but I think I'm in the market for a more peachy blush, and this is my favourite. It's absolutely fantastic formula, so might get a different shade. Okay, so I'm just going to take another product from Hourglasses, the Ambient Lighting Palette. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's got dim light, incandescent light, and radiant light. So I'm just going to take a bit of incandescent light and firstly pop that on the bridge of my nose, a bit on the tip of my nose as well, and just blend that in. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that on the tops of my cheekbones as well. Just so beautiful. I'm just going to take a little bit of dim light and just pop that in the center of my forehead. Just go over those areas a little bit just to add a bit more shine. On my top lip. So pretty. Really, really lovely. Let's move on to lips. Now you all know that I absolutely adore the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood lips, and you also know that I love the Hourglass lip glosses. They are my favourites. That cannot be denied, but I've used them in loads of different videos, so I'm going to use my second favourite in this video, which are from Wayne Goss. These are the Wayne Goss lipsticks and also lip glosses. I think they are absolutely beautiful, and I really struggled to find the cruelty-free status of these lip products. Even on the Beautylish website, I might be staring straight at it, but I don't think there's anything written on the Beautylish website as to the cruelty-free status, which I think is a real shame. So I've had to go back to the original release video that was by Wayne Goss on YouTube, and in the top right hand corner of his release video where he showed everybody the products, it does say in the top right hand corner, not tested on animals. So I have to take that as the truth. It's coming from Wayne Goss. I believe him. If he says that these products are cruelty-free, then, you know, they're cruelty-free. I'm going to pop them on the lips. Let's put on, let's have a look. Which one should we use today? I have the shades Camellia and also Amaryllis. I think I've worn Amaryllis in a previous video, so let's use Camellia today, which is a much more of a neutral browny peach shade. Really is beautiful. Really, really beautiful. Like I said in my, I can't remember what it was, testing out new products video maybe, I do need to put 2 coats of this on because I find the first coat to be a little bit patchy. You can definitely see the lip through the first coat. But the second coat just glides on absolutely effortlessly. And they're so creamy and so beautiful. They feel very comfortable on the lip, absolutely gorgeous, and there's no need to cover that up, but I'm going to do it anyway because I want to wear the lip gloss. Now these lip glosses are so similar to the Hourglass lip glosses, which are my all-time favourites. Absolutely beautiful, really pigmented. They even taste the same. They have that minty flavour. This doesn't have a tingling to it, it's just the flavour and the smell is slightly minty. Oh, it's just so refreshing. It reminds me of a Murray mint. My granddad used to give me Murray mints when I was little and I used to suck on them for ages until you got to that chewy bit in the centre, which I absolutely adored. This one is in the shade Cherry Blossom. Really beautiful. I could really suck on this all day. So pretty. Really, really lovely. So that's it. That is my full face of all my favourite or my second favourite cruelty-free products. I really did have a bit of a tug of war with myself this morning of which products were going to be featured in this video. I may do a second one because I have so many amazing cruelty-free products. It would be a bit of a shame not to showcase them. Anyway, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Do let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. Let me know what are all your favourite cruelty-free brands. If I can get them in the UK, I may give them a bit of a whirl. Hope to see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.